The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
Hey guys, happy Matthew's Eve.
Isn't it so nice?
Yeah, actually it's Matthew's Day.
Yeah,
it is Matthew's Day. Yesterday was Matthew's Eve. He's playing tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Good time.
That's right.
It feels like tomorrow, but it isn't.
You just hurt my head.
I'm sorry.
You just hurt.
know.
Oh,
Well,
why does it
I
feel
felt
like
something
tomorrow?
pop.
I don't know. I felt like I feel like it's just we're 3 games into the season, and I felt like it's like every other night we have a game now. It's like, oh my god, when am I going to watch Succession?
It is a lot.
This is going to be the first time since early 2020 that the Leafs are going to play a regular season game against a team that's not from Canada because the schedulers decided to dick around and have the Senators and the Canadiens off the top of the year instead of just an American team.
The first time since March 10th, 2020 against the Tampa Bay Lightning, a 2-1 win, punctuated by a Marner to Matthews pass, I believe on the power play,
Oh,
and the Leafs won.
There you go.
I like those. Maybe we'll see one of those tonight.
Maybe.
Now-
I tell you what, it would be chicken soup for Mitch's soul because that is a frustrated individual.
Sure
Oh,
is.
yeah.
We can talk about Mitch in a second. I do want to say too, if Georgiev starts tonight, we're fucked. Because there's 2 teams he plays well against, and I think it's the Leafs and isn't it the Islanders or something? Like he's got, and then everybody else, he's like, he's okay.
You're already starting to see the rumbles, the Leaf storyline rumbles. Jake B. Leafs, who I follow, was
him.
like, what if it's that it's not that every goalie is George Vezina against the Leafs. It's that the Leafs do something that makes goalies look good.
Nah.
Couldn't be that.
No.
Couldn't be that. Couldn't be the 43% power play going down to 5%.
I
over
don't
the
know.
course of last year.
No. Forsberg is Vezina. Like, he's George Vezina.
Well, I don't know what about the Leafs strategy of like a sick pass into a forehand backhand deke getting friggin' robbed. I don't know what part about that is Sheldon Keefe's fault. I think Forsberg might have been good.
He had a good game. There's no question. I think we got
2 games.
Yeah, he did. He did. But listen, hey, Leafs win again.
Hooray!
Yay. So
liked
Saturday
it.
night, watched the game, and it felt like they started on time.
Yeah, finally. Good. Hooray.
I'm happy about that. That's good. That's
I'm
positive.
not. I'm baseline about
No,
that.
you can't be
That's
baseline
what I
about
expect.
it. No, we
No.
need to be positive here.
You're right. Fine, I'm satisfied.
You're right. Thank you. So, well, I mean, Spezza said it was something after the last game. He's like, listen, it's not something we're too worried about this early in the season. I was like, really? And then, and then he said, but it's obviously something we're going to talk about. And then they talked about it, and they did it. And this is the thing with this team: they're so talented, they can come back from anything. We've seen them do it, but you don't have to come back if you're up.
Isn't that great? No, unless you're playing the Hurricanes. Then you got to have a 3-0 lead and blow that. And have your own 3-goal comeback. God, this team has taken years off my life.
Or the Senators last year when you're up 5-1. But anyway,
yeah. Thank you.
I think
Play all the hits.
it's nice that Jack Campbell's playing the way he is,
Really good.
especially because they had a University of Toronto goalie in backup, which could have been a great storyline. But no, you don't think so?
No, I mean, it could have been. It could have been. I got a notification. I got an email notification just before I came in the house. It was an email from the NHL because I guess they have an article up on NHL.com. And it was David Ayer's pregame advice to Alex Bishop. And I was like, that's enough. That is enough.
There's a couple really fun things out of that Bishop backup because he was in rotation for the EPUG goalie for the Leafs, and he missed his spot for the David Ayers game by 2 days, in the rotation. So he could have had that one too, and then on Saturday. But it turned out it was actually a really smart decision by by Dubas to do this instead of playing short a man.
Well, it worked out.
It worked out, but
Yes.
the risk was worth it.
So what was the risk? What happened?
So I found this on Twitter. It is Rule 50.10E on in the NHL rulebook.
Where do we get one of these books? I want this book.
Yeah, who is this? Who's got the tweet?
It was from a tweet from an account called Steel Wind. I don't know. I was just looking through replies on a Bishop tweet, and I found this. So after one game of Bishop, they can now bring up Hutch without a cap hit for the entire time that Mrazek is out.
Because it's an emergency call-up.
Yes.
Which we need to redefine emergency, because I think the emergency was a couple days ago when they had to sign a U of T goalie.
Right.
But now it's the delayed emergency?
Yeah, so by having Bishop
I've
on the
broken my
lineup-
ankle. Yes, your ambulance will be there in a couple days.
So by having Bishop on the lineup, you kick in the emergency clause in the CBA, and then now Hutch doesn't count against the salary cap for any amount of time that Mrazek just doesn't play, which is awesome, because none of these accruing days, they don't add up at the end of the when the trade deadline kicks in. You need that salary cap space. So credit to Dubas for finding out this rule.
Yeah, Thomas Drance had a pretty level-headed take on it. Like, teams that are aggressive about the salary cap make these dicey kind of bets. And you don't count on this bet coming into play nearly immediately when the season begins. Mrazek gets hurt in his first bloody game, but it ends up paying off.
And for everybody out there being like, it always happens to the Leafs. No, around the league, there are teams in this exact scenario right now. The Avalanche played down a man on Saturday.
Yes.
Played short a skater because of this exact same thing.
So I did see that defense, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it very much, because related to the goalie injury, there was Justin Hall, who was out for COVID protocol reasons. He ended up not having it. He was sick with something else, which you're allowed to be. The Avalanche have like a half a dozen guys on COVID protocol. To me, they're like totally different situations. The Leafs situation seemed a lot more avoidable than the Avalanche's.
Okay, but then the Vegas at the end of last season also played down skaters.
And that's poor management.
You think
No,
I'm just saying
it's not poor management. It's they knew this was going to happen. And it was a good example of a team not actually caring about the regular season. They're like, yeah, we may or may not win the President's Trophy, but whatever. And we know we're going to play the Avalanche. Whatever, we're giving them home ice advantage in the playoffs. Hopefully we beat them anyway, and they did. I don't know. It seemed like this Leaf scenario was avoidable, and luckily we avoided disaster, and now they get to enjoy the fruits of it, which is Hutchinson at no cap hit.
High risk, high reward.
There you go.
And a game 3, who cares, right? Doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, they're a groin tweak away from Hutchinson being the starter for this foreseeable future. So.
Right.
Also, ask the Jays about games not matter.
That's what I mean. And that's, I think, why I was all over them last week is like, if you're a Toronto fan, the Jays missed out on the postseason by a single game.
They won 90 games and it wasn't good enough.
91.
Yeah. Welcome 91. To the
AL East.
AL East. I almost said Atlantic. But all the same, still very strong.
I have no idea who's still in like the MLB playoffs.
Oh,
no
man,
idea.
you're missing a good Braves and Dodgers series.
I totally checked out after the Jays.
Really good.
I can't do it. My heart hurts.
Right now, you're cheering for the Astros and the Dodgers.
Okay.
Screw Boston.
No, I'm cheering for the. I think what you just said is I'm cheering for the Dodgers.
Yes.
Thank you. I thought I misheard you. That was
you missed some really good drama with the Astros White Sox series too. There's a lot of yapping going on. It was.
Yeah.
It's been a really compelling MLB postseason.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly
really fun.
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point we got to move on with the Astros.
I know. I think,
but not yet.
I think what it is with the Astros is that we never got the chance to boo them directly.
No.
Because of COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
So nobody got the chance to go and give them the boos that they deserved, because they did deserve boos.
Yep.
But what they've come out and they've done is they've proved that they're a very good baseball team.
Good
and then they went and lost George Springer, and they're still a very good baseball team.
Yep.
And so like the thing is that like they are very, very good. Doesn't mean that they didn't cheat, and it doesn't mean that the cheating didn't lead to them winning the World Series. They still could have won it probably without, but why not hedge your bets? Look at the Patriots.
When good teams cheat, they win.
Yeah, look at the Patriots.
Yeah.
They've been caught multiple times doing stuff that's right on the line of cheating, but you ask anybody who's a Patriots fan, oh, that's nothing. But it's cheating. But it's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but everyone's doing it. You see how that's worse? Or don't you? You don't see how that's worse.
Hey, listen, let's just, you know what? At the end of the day, that's what, to me, that's sort of part of what makes sports fun. Like when that...
Cheating?
Was it? Well, no, when they got caught, like the drama of it, right? It's all theater. We talked about it with Brady Tkachuk, but like for me, one of the most interesting parts of watching the NFL ever was when the Patriots were caught filming the Giants practice. Yeah. And what was hilarious, the Giants sucked. But Bill Belichick's like, no, we're gonna fucking know what they do too. Like I don't want to just beat them. I want to dismantle them, and I want their fans to never want to come back. Like that's the kind of attitude it is, and I appreciated the blow up afterwards, because to me it's not really about the event, it's how everyone reacts to the event. I want to know what Stephen A. Smith's going to say. I want to know what Skip and Shannon are going to say. Like I want to see all the replies on Twitter that are from Boston. They're like, no, Patriots didn't do anything, and then the people who are like, fuck the Patriots. And I think that's fun.
Oh yeah, and I think the worst thing the NFL could have ever done is punish Tom Brady for Deflategate. Because after his 4-game suspension for there, I think he's been to 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Like he's like, okay, you want me to take revenge on this for the rest of my life?
And emboldening Boston sports fans forever. Their list of chirps is just a sticky note that says cry harder. Like, because that's all they ever have to say, because their team wins everything despite your complaints.
Yes.
Cry harder. There it is. End of list.
Championship.
Yeah, in 20 years when all our teams are bad, we'll think of some more. But until then, it's the sticky note.
Man, the Patriots might be bad now.
I think they suck.
Yeah, well, okay. Let's go through all the other teams then.
Well, our baseball team's in the championship
like,
series.
You see how we're not there yet?
And the Bruins are probably a lock for top 3 in the division.
Brad Marchand is right back to being him.
Right.
Did you see?
Yeah. Explain for anybody that missed the Brad Marchand thing, and then we'll get back to the Leafs.
He had the puck. Someone tried to hit him. He knocked them on her ass, and then he just stared at them because he's Brad Marchand. I don't remember who the player was.
Man, I'm telling you, if Brad Marchand was a Maple Leaf, he'd be a Canadian hero. And by Canadian hero, I mean he'd be covered like crazy, and all the other markets in Canada would hate him. There'd be a statue in Toronto, and everybody else would be like, fuck that guy, I can't stand him. But
damn it.
He is, how do you not love him? I hate him. Well, that's why I love him.
I'm looking forward to cheering for him for exactly 2 weeks in February.
For Canada.
Yeah, the Olympics.
At the World Cup, that was so strange. He scores like the gold medal winning goal for Canada, and all of Toronto's like,
Adam's coldest take: the Olympics won't be fun.
Oh well, I just was not that interested.
Known for never generating memorable moments.
No one ever cares.
I just wasn't into it yet, and then you guys turned me around.
The gold medal game.
Leafs win 3-1 on Saturday, and obviously you've probably seen the breakdowns and stuff like that. But great to see. It was a great night for Scarborough. Wayne Simmons getting his first goal, Michael Bunting getting his first goal. I believe Michael Bunting made a list in The Athletic today of 20 potential Calder Trophy Calder Trophy winners, and that was funny because I'm like, that's like a wink, right? He's like number 20 on the 20 list, but all the same, he's still a rookie. And he's still looking pretty good. I like Michael Bunting.
Justin Bourne did a funny tweet. It was like there's all these different Calder criteria that Bunting misses by like games or days. Like
the birthday one is the most ridiculous.
What is it?
What's the birthday one?
You have to be I think 26
I'll find it.
is your year where it's at the cutoff, but it's 26 by September 15th, I think it is. And Bunting's born on like the 20th. So he made like 5 days. His birthday just sneaks in, even though he is totally 26.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
like he should not be eligible for the Calder.
Well, okay, you know what? I don't. To me, the Calder should be you're new to the league, and if you're 47 and you're brand new to the league, why does it matter how old you are? It should matter that you're new to the league. It's the National Hockey League. It's hard. It's difficult.
I got it from Justin Bourne.
Got it.
Sorry. So this is from earlier this month. Michael Bunting's status as a rookie is just him dodging the qualifications matrix style. Over 25 games in a year, not a rookie. He played 21. 6 games in consecutive years, not a rookie. Played 5 the year prior.
That's ridiculous.
Turns 26 before September 15th, not a rookie. Turned 26 September 17th.
Oh, 2 days.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
Dwayne Rollison,
I highly doubt it's going to happen.
When Dwayne Rollison came into the league, I'm going to look up his stats. He was objectively, he was old. He came in with Calgary. Let me just look up his stats.
Dwayne Rollison?
Dwayne Rollison came in with Calgary.
I don't remember that.
I had his card. Oh no, yeah, Calgary Flames 96-97. So he started this. I think it was. What was it? Why wasn't he eligible? There was some sort of thing where he wasn't eligible, and he was like 30 or 31 or something like that, and people were arguing he should have been, but he really kind of took off. Yeah, it was 98-99 Sabres, he played 18 games. He had a .909 save percentage. And then 01-02 with the Wild, a .901. And then the next year in 02-03, a .927. So like Dwayne Rolison was one guy who was like, man, he should have had a chance. He wasn't eligible, but he should have had a chance.
He was a really good goalie for a long time. Meanwhile, Wayne Gretzky couldn't win the Calder because he played
WHA.
I don't know, a few dozen games in the WHA when he was a teenager, when he was 17 years old.
Well, at least it went to some bum named Ray Bourque.
Yeah.
That's who won. So that's not bad.
One of my favorite unbreakable records, the shots in a career record, Ray Bourque. No one will ever touch it.
Shots in a career. What is it?
No one will. The second place is something like, I think second place, whoever it is, has 5,200 shots. Ray Bourque has 6,100.
Wow.
It's not getting touched.
So
A
literally,
defenseman.
so the Bruins power play for 20 years was
Pass it to Ray.
Ray, bomb from the point. Okay,
Yep. Who
interesting.
will try to pass it to the back of the net.
The Leafs have a great night. Obviously, Wayne Simmons getting that goal was great. Kerfoot getting a goal. Steve, you were mentioning that that Kerfoot was a guy that needed to have a thing.
Well, I was amazed at the amount of players who had a good game against Ottawa who needed to do anything. Like Simmons was a guy where he took a penalty in like the offensive side of the neutral zone, and I'm like, you can't do that on the fourth line. You can't. And I think it led to a goal. He scores. That was awesome. Alex Kerfoot was just wading around and diving into and swimming in the what do you do here pool. And he had a great game. Who else had a great game? Dermott,
goal,
I thought, had a great game.
Kerfoot's goal, that was his first shot on goal all season.
No.
Yeah, that was his
Wow.
first shot on goal, first goal.
That's snake pit.
Yeah.
He's got a good shot for a playmaker.
Yeah.
I
Right.
wish he would use it more.
Timothy Liljegren gets his first point too, an assist in his first game. What did you think of his performance?
It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. And the play that he made, I believe that was on the Kerfoot goal.
Bunting goal.
It was on the. Oh yeah, you're right. So it was on the. See, because Kerfoot was involved all night.
That's
Isn't
right.
that great? So yeah, he blocks the shot and he advances the puck up ice, and then it's the 2-on-1 Kerfoot Bunting. He was good. I mean, needed to be. I don't know if last year's Timothy Liljegren could have done that, and I don't know if Keefe would have trusted him to do that. What I think would have happened last year is it would have been Dermott Muzzin and then Sandine Liljegren, and Liljegren plays 5 minutes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Sandine's playing with so much poise offensively, leaves a little bit to be desired in his own end. Holy shit, did the Sens cook a few of the Leafs alive. Tyler Ennis really got Sandine bad. Tim Stützle got TJ Brody bad.
We're going to have to get used to Tim Stützle getting everybody.
Ooh,
He's got wheels. He's unbelievable to watch.
That's a really good player. But I liked Dermott's TJ Brody impression with the he pressed L1R1 and then he did the sticky flippy going back.
the big sweep.
Yeah.
The big sweep around. Yeah.
He's been learning tricks. That's TJ Brody's thing.
Right.
He's the best in the league at it, and he learned it, and he did it well. Campbell was obviously great. I'm trying to think of who else.
I want to talk about, you mentioned this, Mitch Marner through 3 games, 1 assist, 0 goals, and 12 shots. So he's getting his shots in. He is driving the net.
Yeah.
Right.
To me, this is an example of the fan base picking on a guy.
I think so too. I've really liked him.
Yes.
I think he's been, and this is the thing we talked about in the playoffs last year, was the perimeter game he was playing at that point. And that was the problem, is that like it seemed like they were always to the outside, especially on the power play, and there wasn't the drive to the net. I've seen him do it in every game, it feels like. He's going to the net with the puck. He has, the thing about Mitch, he might not have the size, but you'd be hard-pressed to find many players with better hands than he has. So he can move his way there.
He's always worth the money, like in terms of entertainment value.
Oh, yeah.
He's that little pass block that he turned into a rush up the ice and into a scoring chance. Come on, who's doing that? Who's doing that the way he does it?
He just needs a little bit more finish, and
Maybe
I think that's where
Yep.
he's missing Austin Matthews. I think once Matthews is back tonight, that maybe that turns around his season a little. Because I didn't like how when he came down on the 2-on-1, he never looked to shoot on that one. He was facing literally up the ice to looking to pass, like you're giving that away to the goalie. And then on the breakaway, you hit the side of the net. Give the puck a chance to go in.
This is Schrodinger's Marner, though. Because I think the worst position for him to be in is on a 2-on-1. Because he's on a 2-on-1 and he doesn't pass it. Oh, Mitch, what are you doing? You don't even know how to shoot.
Right.
He passes it and it doesn't go in. Well, of course he did.
Of course he did.
Stupid piece of crap. I tell you what, though, John Tavares, Mitch Marner's the best player on that line.
Oh, what?
On the John Tavares line?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Without question, he is.
Yep. Well, and he's looked like it, though.
So what are you saying?
What are you saying about JT's game right now?
Well, we talk about how Marner has to step up in the absence of Austin Matthews, which is true, but I think Tavares does too.
Right.
Has he looked like the ice does not tilt enough when that line is on the ice?
Interesting.
And the other thing is like Richie Tavares, that combo, I think one of those guys is fine, but the two of them with Marner does not work.
I think this goes back for me to Austin Matthews out of the lineup. Like I feel like Tavares is going to play better with Willie, and that's going to get them going. Well, Willie's already incredible, but that's going to get
4
Tavares
points in 3
going.
games or something like that.
Yeah.
With Kerf.
And the setup on the Kerfoot goal when he's in the corner
my
and he gets the
God.
puck away and he sends it out front, like
Silky.
unbelievable.
Silky.
He's awesome this season.
But-
and then when Mitch goes back with Austin, that's going to get Mitch going. Like I feel like everything just needs to balance out, and he's so important to the lineup that when he's not there, you see this where Tavares is kind of the ice doesn't tilt when he's there.
The line combos they were going with were placeholders because you knew Matthews was coming back. That's fine. If Matthews goes down again, no. I don't want to see that.
Okay,
shit.
so
I
what would
didn't
you
like the
have?
lines.
What
No,
would you
it
have?
was
Bunting, Kerfoot, Willie to me it worked on Saturday.
It's fine.
It's fine, but that's not the ideal long term if Austin's not there.
It's not ideal because the first line is.
A little
I'd
broken.
rather watch that one. I'd
Okay.
rather watch that Willie line than the Marner Tavares line. The speed just does not match.
So here's what we're going with tonight for anybody that doesn't know. You guys probably already do, but it's Richie Matthews Marner, Bunting Tavares Nylander,
as it was always
Kerfoot, Kampf, Kasha.
Love that line.
Engvall, Spezza, Simmons. Now can Kasha?
I love that.
Can Kasha switch sides?
that I
Like,
don't
because
know.
to me, growing up, if you were a winger, you were just a fucking winger. Like,
I'm sure
and I don't
he
know.
could.
Well, no, it wasn't really. I didn't really. I guess maybe on a granular level, like I didn't see a winger look that out of place until I saw Kasperi Kapanen try to play as off wing. And I was like, it just did not. Remember, he was with Tavares,
Yeah.
and it just did not work.
The
And-
receiving the puck thing and just getting set up for a shot, I guess it just, if you're used to one side your entire career, probably throws you off a little.
The
But
weird
you're
thing-
also a professional hockey player.
yeah,
That too.
yeah,
The weird-
right? Yeah,
The weird thing about Kapanen is I think he was drafted as a left winger, and I want to say that's where he played in the minors. And it just
didn't work.
But it didn't work that high in the lineup. I bet if they put him on the left third line, he might have been okay.
I was just thinking with Nick Ritchie, like obviously I want to see what him and because Matthews is pretty tall too, so Twin Towers there. I would love to see what the two of those guys can do. But if Ritchie doesn't work, Kasha's look good to me, and I feel like he has the finish. We know he scored 20 goals before. We know he can do it. I'm not sure if his play style necessarily lends itself, but I'd be interested to see what he would look like on the top two lines.
They really, really, really need a third line to be a consistent threat at both. Well, threat at both ends of the ice, not tongue in cheek. Like they need
That
to be.
it doesn't kill them.
Yes, they need to be a defensive threat and they need to be an offensive threat. Ritchie, I did actually think had a better game 3, but the speed of him with Tavares, it just does not match. I mean, I would rather in the future them take Marner off that line if they had to and just have one slow, heavy line.
Interesting.
Put, I don't know.
Simmons.
Yes. No, like I'm not, yeah. And then have the water bugs out there.
Did Dubas make a mistake when he let Brooks go to waivers and kept Amadio on the team? Because that's
I liked Brooks last year, man. I thought he played well.
That's the first
you know-
roster mistake of this little season that's getting underway.
I will say the fourth line, the third game was their best game by far. And on the Simmons goal, every single Leaf on the ice touched the puck, including Amadio. He was part of it. Spezza wins the faceoff. What Spezza taking the faceoff there for? I thought Amadio was the center. He wins the faceoff. Amadio gets it back to Dermott. Dermott gets it to Sandin. Sandin throws it in front. Wicked pass to Simmons. That was God. Sandin. There's so much potential there. I'm really excited to see what player he develops into. Now, does Amadio deserve his spot in the lineup over Brooks because he flickied the puck back to the defenseman off a face-off? No.
What did he do?
He flickied it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't get it.
I miss Brooks on that fourth line.
Yeah. I mean, the Habs may have to put him back on waivers, and I would suspect the Leafs would try to get him back.
Right, but it's tough when you finished higher in the thing. Waivers are tough when you finished well the season before, right?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't get it. Part of me did see Amadio in the preseason, and I'm like, I get what they're doing here. They're looking forward to the playoffs, and we want to be bigger and we want to be heavier, but like we gave Curtis Gabriel shit for his skating, and oh boy.
Amadio's not the greatest skater.
No.
What do you mean?
No. Well, listen, as a bad skater.
Yeah. What, game recognized game? Is that what you're saying?
By the way, remind me, because we're going to talk about NHL 22 later. Remind me to bring up the skating.
In the game?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
I am very excited to talk about
Okay,
this.
so Steve, you also did your first stream on Saturday, and you're going to be doing this. Every
Saturday.
Every Saturday from now on, you will be doing a stream. So goodbye date night. It's over. It's never happening again.
Yeah, it's long dead.
Yeah, especially on a Saturday with hockey. But it's Steve watching the game with you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we had a good time, and it was like riding a bike. And we have some new tricks. So last year, if you were just tuning in, you would have to hope I said the score. You no longer have to do that. We have a graphic at the bottom. So we borrow that from TV, right? Like we tried to be like, we're a stream, and then we're like, TV actually has some pretty good ideas. So we stole that one.
Showing the score.
The score. So the score bug. Well, I mean, if you're at intermission, here was the problem. If you tuned in during a commercial break, or I'm going to the bathroom, or it's intermission, or whatever, there was nothing there. It was literally just a graphic that said,
we'll be back.
We'll be back. And that was because it all came together very quickly, and it was a little bit of survival mode there. Now, what we have is actual intermission entertainment that is not me, because I am a human being, and sometimes I have to go to the bathroom.
So did they cut to the Hockey Night in Canada stream? Or?
No, we may do that sometimes. I have talked to them about that, but what we're going to be doing is airing Sportsnet original content. So we got Cabby with Connor McDavid. We have Jillian Fisher, who is brand new to the Sportsnet team. So we were showing her, and at first intermission, we had Colby Armstrong talking to both Alexander Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby at the same time.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. So that, I think, is better than a slate that said Steve is going to get a muffin. So we have that. And other than that, we're just talking to the fans the whole time.
And you're still doing your LFRs.
Still doing my LFRs.
A lot of people want to know that.
I did night of.
Wow. It's a lot of talking.
It's a lot of talking. I got a text from my boss after the stream. He's like, "Are you exhausted?" And I'm like, "Buddy, I'm in the middle of shooting a video right now." He's like, "Jesus Christ."
Yeah.
So 3 night of videos so far. I plan on keeping that going because I have an editor now, and it's super cool. Most of the videos this season are going to be night of for the first time ever in 15 years of me doing this. So looking forward to the rest of the season.
And Jesse, less hockey. Well, you are going to do a stream later on this week on the SDPN channel, right? The Twitch channel.
Yeah, so on twitch.tv/SDPN live is our Twitch URL. Every Wednesday and Friday, I stream GTA 5. So I sit there and with the
you were golfing the other day.
It's so good.
It's such a great game.
It's really. I am a big nerd when it comes to watching. I rarely am able to tune into streams live, but I watch a lot of GTA 5 gamers. And you're one of my favorite instantly.
Oh, thank you.
Instantly. You're so fun, and you're easily the worst of the game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the whole reason we started that was because I had never played the game. And it's been out since 2013, so I figured let's do this on Twitch.
Are you better now?
A little bit.
In your opinion?
I know how to duck and cover, which was a big deal on the
very
stream.
important in GTA.
I learned that R1, I can do a little duck and cover and shoot around a corner. I learned that for the first time on the last stream.
The characters are amazing in that story.
Oh, yeah. Michael and Trevor and Franklin, like those three guys,
Trevor.
their storylines are so much fun to watch.
One of the ones I did tune into live was you... because I knew you were about to discover Trevor, and I'm like, well, I got to be there for that.
Yeah.
That is
You
wild.
discovering Trevor was pretty good.
He stomps a guy to death in the first scene he's in the game. That's a thing he does.
Yeah, he's great. I like him.
So I've been doing that every Wednesday and Friday. But this week we're going to change it up because NHL 22 came out last Friday. Mm-hmm. So I put up a poll on our Discord and I was like, okay, which team do you want me to rebuild and be a GM mode? And the team that everybody voted for was the Buffalo Sabres.
Yep.
So Wednesday night for around 6 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to do NHL 22, a first stream on that game, and I'm going to rebuild the Buffalo Sabres and be a GM mode.
I have a question.
Love it.
Yes.
Are you going to play the hockey?
No.
Good.
Because that's not
you
a
gotta
rebuild.
sim it, right? That's not a rebuild.
GM mode, you shouldn't play the games. That's how I've always played it.
I agree.
Correct.
Yeah. Except for the Stanley Cup Finals, because you want to watch the end cutscene when you win the Stanley Cup.
Right.
So I think you can go to the third period of the Stanley Cup Finals, but your team has to get there through the sim. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Wednesday, I don't usually plug the stream, but yeah, Wednesday I'm going to be doing a hockey one, so I figured I'd talk about it. NHL 22, Buffalo Sabres rebuild, be a GM mode, twitch.tv/SDPN live. And we have prizes every time I do a stream. I have a spin wheel, and this week I'm going to be spinning 25%, 50%, or 75%, or 100% off on SDPN.ca.
Oh!
So somebody's going to get a whole bunch of percent off on whatever order they want on SDPN.ca.
Steve, you have played NHL 22.
Yes.
What do you think?
No, I haven't played it yet.
Okay, so there's a lot more that's customizable, and it's stuff that when you're going through and making your character, like I usually don't even change the face. I'm like, this is stupid. This is a waste of time. I don't care. You can change so much about the physics. I don't know if it actually affects your speed in game, but you can affect how you skate. So you can be super crouched over, or you can be really upright. And like, I'm of course way overthinking it, like I do with everything. So I'm like, well, my guy has a bad back, so he's going to be very upright on account of he can't crouch over. But also, I know how bad I am at NHL. At NHL. I'm good at NHL. I know how bad I am at hockey. So this guy's going to be skating with a lot of arms. Jesse, it is the funniest fucking thing.
Oh, yeah?
My guy, whenever he gets up to speed, he's just upright and his arms are flying, flailing all over the place.
And this is in ones.
Or
is it in like your game?
No, it's great because like I'll rush the puck up and then there'll be a turnover and I got to fly back and there's my guy just flapping away trying to fly back and you can change as a defender. Oh, by the way, let's spend some time on this. So one of the criticisms of the game.
Okay.
By the way, are the people at NHL 22 ever going to talk to us again?
I don't know.
You want me to send an email?
Yeah,
I get the PR
I'd love to
emails.
work with them on some stuff. I mean, if they want to.
I never know how they feel about me because some years it's like, we want you to be in the trailer, and other years it's literally nothing and I don't get any codes.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know.
They might be a little scared because we're honest.
I don't know. Nasher's pretty honest, man. Like, that guy's the biggest gamer they have.
Yeah, I didn't think that mattered to them. I thought they were
like,
pretty cool
man,
about that.
this is garbage.
Yeah. Like, listen, we got through the NHL 15 experience, which was terrible. Remember that?
And 13.
And still, didn't they invite us in, though, to play 16 or 17? We went to the EA Studios in Toronto.
Times. We've met Rammer many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's a him thing.
No, certainly not.
I don't know. I guess I'm not Nasher. I get it.
Yeah, well... There is only one Nasher.
He has a Champion deal, and we purchase clothes off of Champion and slap our logo off of it. We are not the same.
Hey. But we do know where to get great products like ball shavers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, Adam.
That's right.
Adam Wilde be like, don't shave your balls.
I watched Nasher play this weekend, and he learned how to do a move around the net where he does... I think it's just like a flip around the goalie, and it's literally he just skates up the ice and he does this, and he's like, EA, you need to fix this because it's so OP, and it's like he's beating the whole game, and it's not fair.
Right.
And that stuff just needs to be patched immediately.
No, he should be ghosted.
Yeah, and they should never talk to him again because he's exposing these
Screw
things.
him. No, I mean, obviously, if you're honest about something, it can make it better, right? Yeah. And I think that they're open to that. I just know I'd love to be able to work with them on some stuff. I think we got a pretty passionate, awesome audience that might respond to that.
Absolutely. So one of the criticisms early on is it's far too easy to knock players off the puck. And as someone who always plays defense, let me just say, you're all wrong, get good. You're all wrong, get good. How many times have I been standing right in your face? I'm doing exactly what I should be doing defensively, but the puck sticks to you, like in real life, like a magnet. No, absolutely not. I'm where I should be. I knocked you off the puck. I take it. We send it up ice. We score. We own you. Get good. Mm-hmm. I love it. As a defensive player, I love it. It's so much easier to pick off passes. Not everything goes through you like you're translucent anymore.
Remember when you used to have to pick off passes by literally diving?
Yeah.
And then hope that your player could get up on time to pass it.
Yes.
You'd have to get the portion of your animation that's triggered to block a puck.
Yes.
To get the puck.
Yes.
It wouldn't just it sometimes might go through your stick. It'd just be an invisible stick.
So the shot blocking, but more specifically pass blocking is so much better as a defensive player. And also along with how much you flap your arms, you can also choose as you're skating where your stick is. So you can be like stick up in the air guy, Gary Roberts style, or you could be stick down low guy, which is what I am, because I want to pick off all your stupid 2-on-1 passes. And I got to tell you, I'm able to do it, and I'm really liking it. I'm actually really liking NHL 22 so
Great.
far. I haven't done a ton. I've only played a few games, but I really like it so
You're
far.
going to get 8 years by $9 million if you stick up with this defense.
Mm-hmm. I should. I got to tell you.
Are you right shot? Defense?
I'm a right shot.
Yeah. Big money.
Yeah.
Big money
Dougie
position.
Hamilton over here.
Oh, don't worry. I'm already protecting my investments. Leo picks it up the wrong way. I'm like, no, absolutely not. You hold your stick this way, Leo.
We don't want an Andre Agassi situation where Leo writes a book about how much he hates you because you forced him to play sports.
That kid is an athlete already.
Leo? Yeah.
He runs. He knows how to kick a ball. And if I give him a hockey stick, he doesn't really hit it. He just stabs it. He stabs the ball.
Slice it like a melon.
But I praise him and I go, good boy. Hey, that's great. And I tussle his hair.
Like a dog.
Like a dog. So as someone who had a dog for many years before I had a son, I'm really struggling with using all the same language.
How do you
on
speak?
him.
Yeah, how do you speak to them differently? Which I just gave up on.
Yeah.
Oh,
I go,
good girl.
Yeah, good boy.
Sit down.
Good girl. Oh yeah, I go. And it's confusing the shit out of Iggy too. Yeah.
I can imagine it is. Yeah.
And you see him lurking in the background because I'll be like, Leo likes to stand up on everything now, which is a danger because he's a baby and will fall off of things.
Right.
So I'll be like, Leo, sit down, and you see Iggy lurking in the background, like, he told you to sit. He told you. You get in trouble when you don't sit.
Yeah.
Why isn't this kid getting in trouble?
You get a cookie when you do.
When I didn't do it, I didn't get a fucking cookie, but this guy gets a cookie regardless. This is bullshit, Mom and Dad. Yeah.
I get it.
He's upset.
He's right.
Adam, what's Everly watching these days? What's it's not Succession, so what is it?
It's not Succession. It's Paw Patrol. She's graduated from Peppa Pig. It happened very quickly.
Oh.
She was just, I'm done with Peppa Pig now. That and Baby Bum, which Netflix needs to delete Baby Bum immediately. Baby Bum is a poorly animated song loop, basically, and it's like this old man and wheels on the bus and all that, and it's so poorly done, and the people behind us are such geniuses because it's literally a bunch of kids singing the same old songs that are royalty free. And they throw it up on Netflix with some bad animation, and you got a hit. And so whenever she says, "Can we put on Baby Bum?" I'll be like, "Oh, Baby Bum's offline with Paw Patrol," and so she's into Paw Patrol. And what's interesting about going through Paw Patrol for the first time?
Hold on, you lie to your
oh hell yeah,
little
absolutely.
baby.
She's always like,
It's an
she gets
important part of parenting.
She gets into the car now. She's like, "Daddy, music," and I'm like, "Yeah, we can listen to music." She's like, "Evie music?" I'm like, "No, not Evie. It's Daddy music. It's all it works in the car. It's Daddy's car. It only works at Daddy's music."
Oh, did you tell her that the cops will pull you over if you turn the light on too?
Oh no! My parents did try to.
Oh yeah,
my parents
that
did
bullshit
too.
on me when at night it's like, "Hey, Mom and Dad, I dropped something on the floor. Can I turn on the light?" My dad's like,
Oh god,
Jesus Christ, Adam.
You know what I mean?
Do that.
Sorry, it's just what is it with parents? And the what was it with your parents and turning on the light? It doesn't matter.
Everybody from our generation thought it was illegal.
Yeah,
you weren't. I thought it was illegal.
But here's the thing: the lies you tell your kids, like to get them to stop screwing with shit, you have to undo at some point.
Yes.
Which my parents never did. So I had a license, was a driver on the road, and thought it was illegal to do that.
So why would you have a light in the car then?
That's what I thought until the day I realized I'd been lied to in my 20s. I was an adult man.
My parents said they couldn't see the road. That was their big excuse. And I said, and I remember in my first car, my Subaru, you remember?
Yes.
And
Banana boat.
I turned on the light because I had to pick up a CD or something. I'm like, I could see out of this car perfectly fine. What the hell is wrong with
There's
these
a light
people?
in the car. You can just turn it on.
That's fine.
Oh, I get it. They're liars.
Okay, anyway, yeah. So
Paw Patrol.
Yeah, Paw Patrol's the big one. Paw Patrol's the big one. And what's interesting about Paw Patrol, and again, I always ask the question, who is funding Paw Patrol? Okay? Who's the angel investor?
Defund Paw Patrol.
Because every year, every season, they amp it up. That's what I'm saying. they
Sorry, abolish Paw Patrol.
Oh no!
You have to. Yeah.
So they have they have their little starter cars at the beginning, but now in season 7 they've got motorcycles. And even when he calls on them to come out, he calls on which dog he's going to bring on, right?
Sure. I don't know the backstory of
there's
the show.
there's a kid and he's got 6
Thomas
dogs.
the Tank Engine with dogs.
Yeah, there's a kid. He's got 6 dogs, and they each have their own. One's a cop, one's a firefighter, one flies a plane, whatever. So whatever is the job that they need, they call in the right dog for the job. One of them's a builder, whatever. But the motorcycles are cool because they come out of this thing, and for whatever reason, there's a moat around the entire fort, and it does a flip over the moat and lands just to get out. And I'm like, what is happening here? This is insane.
See, that's older kid stuff.
I know. And my kid's 2.5. She's not that old.
Oh, no, I didn't think she would be graduated to that because
She's right
Leo,
into it. She knows all the words to the theme song.
No way.
Oh,
She'll sit there.
sick.
You'll turn on the theme song, and my kid, she doesn't watch a lot of TV, but she likes one show at a time. So when she does, she's got her show. So it's Paw Patrol, and then it's and then they go through the names, and she knows all the names, and they're like Paw Patrol. You hear her just mouthing Paw Patrol, we're on a roll.
Leo is the Wiggles and the Wiggles and the Wiggles and I'll watch Blue's Clues and the Wiggles and the Wiggles and
Yeah.
yeah.
How many times have you heard "Rockabye Your Bear"?
I'm gonna kick you
Hot
in the face.
potato, hot
I'm gonna kick you-
potato.
No.
Yeah, fruit salad.
And now I'm obsessed with
yummy.
how often Anthony says "Gee, come on" in the middle of every song.
Anthony.
And also the Wiggles just get the they're Australian pass for cultural appropriation.
They don't actually.
Oh, they
So
don't?
They've had to apologize for several of those skits.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah.
they're still there.
Yes.
They're all still there.
That's a Netflix call, I would think. But yeah, there's some stuff in there where you're like, that seems a bit. I think I definitely think that at certain points they were trying to be, and I know in the newer episodes they're trying to be inclusive. They want to show different cultures, but I think the way they went about it a few years ago would probably not. It just wouldn't pass today. It just wouldn't be okay.
The Pompadum song, I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Would Justin Trudeau give them a high five?
Jesus. Man.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau had to recently apologize for being on an old episode of The Wiggles.
Came back to bite him 2 days
Back when he
before
was
voting.
a teacher, he was a guest. He had a guest spot on The Wiggles, and I'm very sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Man, I don't know what it is.
We've gone so.
We have, but you
Justin enabled special ability. Justin used apologize.
Do you remember?
Sorry.
Do you remember when he went to India and he got dressed up
Yes.
in the...
Yes.
So for whatever reason on TikTok, that has now taken off again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally I don't know how people are working it into their TikTok skits, but I see it every damn day again. All the time.
I'm proud of watching TikTok grow up.
What do you mean?
Well, because it's just it was all new and original memes, and it's like watching a kid discover music. It's all the new stuff. It's all the new stuff, but then eventually a little bit of time goes by and they go, let's play the hits.
Yeah, TikTok has started going into the back catalog. I've noticed it.
TikTok has discovered Vine.
I'm so happy you brought this up because I've started now to see. I'd be like, oh, I've seen this video, but it's viral now on TikTok. But
our table, it's broken.
I saw this 5 years ago. I saw this 8 years ago, and now these kids are discovering these viral videos through TikTok, and it's fascinating to see.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Tim Stutzel is a great player.
Yeah. Hey, so according to Eric Erlandson, hearing initial word that Nikita Kucherov is word on Nikita Kucherov is not positive. Surgery could be involved. Assuming that's accurate, I'd expect him to miss some time moving forward. Should know more by later today.
And all of hockey Twitter is like, "Ugh, the Lightning can't get away with this. They're losing their best player to injury." And just how this is a cover-up.
Right.
I want to throw something.
They're Kucherov truthers.
Well, I think, listen.
The Kuch is out there.
I don't feel good about my pick for him to be... I don't feel good about my pick for the Lightning to win the division.
Do you want me to add it to the list of Adam cold takes?
Yeah. Oh, my God. That's got to be several volumes long. But because of the Lightning, Jack Eichel?
Listen, man,
the timing doesn't work. Jack Eichel's not playing until March.
No, but because Kucherov is on LTIR, listen, I'm not gonna. You're right. I don't get it.
That doesn't work.
I don't understand.
Because they get him and put him on LTIR as well. I mean, they were $18 million over the cap. Didn't we hear that?
It is interesting. Like, did you see the point clip with Emily Kaplan?
No, I missed that one.
So there seems to be progress here. Like Eichel's going to move. Like, which for a while it didn't seem like that was going to happen at all.
They just don't want to retain salary. That's all I know.
Yeah, so that's bad. And supposedly, okay, you're laughing because could the Lightning be in on Eichel? Elliot Friedman just casually dropping that the Avalanche were in on Eichel.
Yeah.
What?
But they've dropped out now?
Yes, because the Sabres wouldn't retain. And, I mean, that's the... okay, now we're approaching the first thing I'll take the Sabres side on. Like, Eichel makes $10 million, and his contract's got 5 years left on it. Yeah. That's kind of tough. Like, I don't know exactly what the Avalanche were asking for in terms of retention, but that can bite you for a really long time.
Sure
the
can.
Leafs are still paying Phil Kessel.
Yep. Also, when you look back at that Phil Kessel trade, it's sort of ridiculous that they had to
do that
ever at all.
Because they traded him to the Penguins. The Penguins, I think, were the team that offered the most assets. But
they wanted Kapanen.
Yeah, well, also they didn't have the room. The Penguins were in perpetual cap hell. So what do you do? Well, we're the Leafs. Money's fake. Do it.
Cap's going up anyway. It's not like there's a global pandemic happening.
Well, and also they weren't planning on being good that fast.
No, that's true.
They didn't anticipate 1 year of being bad, and that's it. They traded Kessel. We're bad for exactly 1 year, and that's it.
The Leafs really lucked out with that.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Bottoming out.
And Matthews and getting the first overall pick at all.
Yeah.
Like, really.
And hitting on everyone.
All the top picks from that little era.
Nylander, Marner, Matthews.
Throw Riley in there.
Hitting on like late picks like Brown and a flyer trade like Hyman.
And then being able to trade all of those mid-round picks for assets. And then getting Tavares.
Yeah, you've seen what happened to the Sabres, who are perpetually tearing down what's been built up.
They tried to stink for one draft to get their guy, and they ended up with this Jack Eichel situation.
They stunk for a decade.
No one.
It's crazy. Yeah, the Leafs did get extremely lucky. So I want to ask you, did you see any of the Battle of Alberta on Saturday?
No.
Okay. Well, what you need to do...
That's the problem with doing stream straight into LFR.
Totally. The Oilers look very good.
I could have told you that.
And it was interesting because, even if, listen, with Calgary and Edmonton, you know that no matter how good or bad either of those teams have been, and both have seen their ups and downs in the last 20 years.
They're going to hate each other.
They always bring it for each other. But Edmonton, Derek Ryan, Connor McDavid, right off the hop. Calgary's out of it. And then they come back with Mangiapane and Lindholm, and then Puljujarvi, and McDavid gets the third for the empty net. So... and that's just Connor McDavid casually scored his first 3 goals of the year.
The Oilers did the easiest thing to do and often the smartest. They became more of themselves.
Interesting.
Their forward group got way better. Their defense mumbles through that, and their goaltending stayed the exact same. Mike Smith's probably not going to be as good as he was. Koskinen's probably not going to be as bad. You hope that's break even. Their defense mumbles. But adding Hyman and Fogle to that Oilers group, they're going to score a shitload of goals.
Yeah.
They're going to be really hard to stop this year, and they're not going to have any trouble making the playoffs.
As of right now, Edmonton is in first place in the Pacific, Calgary in last place. That's because Calgary's played 1 game.
Yeah, okay, so who are the division leaders? See, tanking works. The Oilers, the Sabres.
Edmonton, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Florida.
Okay, there you go. Early season people, I'm cursing because they've screwed me in fantasy. Andrei Vasilevsky, you bum. Connor Hellebuck, you even bigger bum. Who else has screwed me in fantasy? Mark Scheifele, because you were suspended for a game. Bum. Kucherov for getting injured too late because Tic Tac Tomar had you and I lost. Basically, this is all just I lost to Tic Tac Tomar in week 1 and I'm upset.
Well, the season's off to a weird start because there are plenty of teams who still only played one game, and so a couple of teams there, like Calgary, that was their first game of the year, and then they're still stuck on one game. Some teams are like the Leafs tonight are going to their 4th game of the year. The schedule's a little off, but
Leafs,
I guess
Habs, Sens all have 3
because it's an Olympic year maybe.
I think it's going to be weird.
Very intense. And
then the Leafs don't play again until Friday.
Right.
So
really?
Yeah, Friday. So if they got a back-to-back Sharks and Penguins. Odd one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I also say that the thing last year where they would go into cities and play a block amount of games.
Series,
I really liked that. And I'm surprised the NHL doesn't move in that direction, especially for West Coast teams. Like if I am a West Coast team, like if I'm the Kings, I want that because I got to do a lot of travel, and it just seems like it's really hard on athletes. And I'm surprised they didn't just go, why don't we just play weekend series?
It wouldn't,
especially against division teams.
The Western Conference, because you only play those guys once. You only play
within your division.
So yeah,
for any division.
Yeah. For like the Sens, you should have played them the 2 times this week instead of 1 and 1 off and then back. You just play the mini series against the Sens, 2 at Scotiabank or 2 in Canada.
Some weird early season matchups too. Like Dallas versus the Sens. Why'd you have to get that in?
Right.
Flyers versus the Canucks.
Can't wait on that.
Sabres versus the Coyotes as a matinee.
Right.
Who lost a bet to get that one? By the way, the Coyotes are, I can say, right at the beginning of the season, worse than the Sabres.
No way.
Oh yeah.
No way.
The Sabres are a little feisty.
The Coyotes started a made-up person in net. I at least know who Craig Anderson is. I know who Dustin Tokarski is. They started someone could be fake. Could be fake.
What was the?
Well, they brought back the Kachina though.
The Ottawa game last night.
Dallas.
That was the one game on the schedule was Ottawa Dallas. It's very odd.
Yeah, they also so they had 12 games or 11 games on Saturday night and they couldn't put one on the Sunday? One?
They have one.
I guess they really don't want to go up against the NFL. I guess they're serious about not going up against the NFL.
I'm curious because I don't know what the schedule looks like for the season. I'm curious how ESPN and TNT tackle that because the NHL has typically been like, all right, leave Sunday to the NFL, but not one game on the entire schedule out of a potential 16 games you could play.
Wouldn't ESPN they'd have football on Sunday, right?
Yeah, they have. No, I think they only have the Monday night games.
So that's ABC and ESPN, right? That's
for Sundays?
Or no, for
Sundays.
They're owned by the same. It's Sundays NBC. Yeah. ABC is Monday, or
ABC gets they get all of the daytime football games.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
CBS gets Thursday, right?
Thursdays on NFL Network and Amazon.
That's right. It's switched.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And like DAZN has everything.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
But
never heard of them.
Never heard of them. No. So it is DAZN.
Yeah, it's not DAZN, it's DAZN. And it's really good. I was watching the Man United game on Saturday morning, and it was insane. They let 3 goals in like the last 10 minutes. It was painful.
Oh man, but that's poor footy.
Yeah. The ESPN's interesting to bring up because there would be no football for them. They don't have a day slate on ESPN, so they could show NHL hockey.
All of a sudden after the Super Bowl, it's just Sundays are just loaded.
Right.
Yeah. Well, but maybe that's what they'll do.
Nobody's watching that Dallas game because the Cowboys are going up against the Patriots on 1 o'clock on Sunday, so nobody's watching Dallas Ottawa.
Maybe that's why they have the Sens, because they're just like, well, we got to play 82 games and we're throwing this one to the Lions.
I would think if I'm ESPN, I still don't want hockey games on Saturday while the NFL's on, because even if I have it on my Sunday. Even if I have it on my network, I don't want it because I can't sell it.
You're asking for nobody to watch this game.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's how they make up games at the end of the season, like post-Olympics.
Interesting. I don't know.
Because won't it be like Super Bowl straight into the Olympics and then...
Yeah, it's going to be a wild time. And they're still doing the All-Star game too.
God, this is such a...
Usually they
How many
skip the
sports
All-Star game during Olympics years.
Yeah, they threw it out. Yeah, I think this time they want to do it because they want to get back to a localized market, right? Because it's always really good for the market it's in.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing with the All-Star break, though, is how many players will take the one-game suspension and sit it out. Mm-hmm. All the stars are going to be at the Olympics. They are not going to want to be at the All-Star game. So I can't wait for it's another Leo Komarov All-Star game for sure. Mm-hmm. Like what weirdos are we going to see this year?
Ovi has taken off like the last 20 All-Stars.
Yeah, he just takes the suspension.
I'll take a day off.
What's the Caps' first game after that?
Yeah, he's not there.
He ain't playing.
Yeah. It's fall, which means football season is in full swing. And that means for you, that's a way to get some skin in the game and have a little extra fun. And that's why BetMGM remains the exclusive betting partner of The Athletic. As a fan of The Athletic, you can bet $10 to win $150 plus a free 3-month subscription or extension to your subscription with The Athletic when you use BetMGM and the promo code. Just sign up at betmgm.com and use this promo code, TheAthleticPod, at checkout to take advantage of this special offer from the king of sportsbooks. That's a $10 bet to win $150 plus 3 months free from The Athletic at betmgm.com using the promo code TheAthleticPod at checkout. It's a new customer offer. Visit betmgm.com for terms and conditions.
21 years of age or older to wager. Arizona, Colorado, Washington, D.C., Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia only. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona, 1-800-522-4700 in Colorado, Washington, D.C., Nevada, Wyoming, and Virginia, 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help in Michigan, 1-800-GAMBLER in Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. Call or text the Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789 in Tennessee or call 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Check out betterhelp.com/STP. Now, life is full of stressors. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. Young, old, rich, not as rich. Do you have a house? Do you have furniture? You can still be stressed. And I think it's a really good time right now, before we get into the holidays and stuff. Yeah, we got to start talking about the holidays. I think maybe you should talk to somebody who's completely unbiased about your life. Somebody who isn't going to judge you or take sides on anything. When there are things you can't tell anyone, or you feel like you can't unload it in your family and friends, and you need to unload it, that's what therapy can be for you. And BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't even have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Unload those stressors. This podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. And use the promo code SDP. You'll get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/STP. That's BetterHelp.com/STP. Hey, so I think we picked a really great year to launch a show in Montreal because they haven't won a game. And
got pumped by the Sabres.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So
Second half of a back-to-back, but shit.
They can't score.
They can't. No. Well, they need Hoffman, right? He's the guy that's supposed to come in. But here's the thing. Caulfield and Suzuki looked so strong going into the playoffs last year. And I almost wonder if, and I think this is a mental thing, sometimes when it's unexpected, like when people aren't putting the pressure on you, as the pressure was not, especially on Cole Caulfield last year, you can perform. But then all of a sudden you spend the whole summer and you know that they're going to be looking at you.
Well, here's the thing.
It might take some time to adjust.
The Oilers became more of what they are. That's good. The Habs became less. They were huge on defense. They're going to beat you up, and they got this world-beater goalie and a world-beating goalie tandem.
Yeah.
They suffered a big emotional loss when they lose Carey Price for we don't know how long, and we still don't know very much about that. They've had months to prepare for not having Shea Weber.
Right.
And your defense is fine, but who's scoring your goals? So we've brought up Cole Caulfield. Well, okay, that's a rookie. Hoffman, okay. Drouin's look fine. Okay. Gallagher, is pretty dependable. Okay. I've listed 4 wingers so far. Are you seeing the problem? Nick Suzuki is still really young, and Christian Dvorak.
20, 21?
Oh, man. 21, maybe 22. And Christian Dvorak, what would a great season out of him be?
50 points.
Maybe 25 goals?
Yeah.
That would be a great season. Josh Anderson, there's another guy on the wing. They don't have enough goal scoring from their centers. And they didn't have it last year with Philip Deneau, but he was at least part of what they are, which is this team that you can't score on. Right? Sherratt's look terrible. All the cracking down in front of the net stuff is going to kill them.
Yes. Well, when Shea Weber gets back, I'll see how devoted they are to that cross-check role when Shea Weber gets back.
Well, Weber at least gets the hey, you're Shea Weber benefit of the doubt thing. Sherratt doesn't. Edmondson doesn't. Yeah, man. I know it's very early.
You want me to?
They're not going to go winless the whole season.
You want to play a fun game?
Yeah.
Who
I always want to play a fun
Montreal Canadiens goal scorers this year.
Drouin got one against the Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
They have 3, right?
Nope.
They have two goals?
I'll finish the game off with the answer. Jonathan Drouin has 2 goals. Chris Weidman has 1 goal.
Oh, yeah. Leading KHL scorer last year.
End of list.
Oh!
That's the only goals the Montreal Canadiens have received this year.
They have 1 forward who's scored goals.
Yep.
It's not...
3
it's
goals
going to be a problem.
in 3 games from 2 guys. One guy's Chris Weidman.
That's going to be a problem.
Not great.
That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's not super.
No.
Not super.
That's going to... And now you're seeing why they claimed Adam Brooks.
Yeah.
That's a world of hurt up the middle, man. So Suzuki's good. Dvorak's good. And then what? Jake Evans? Jake Evans gets a lot of praise for a guy with 6 goals. How many career goals does Jake Evans have?
Career goals from Jake Evans.
Yeah. Remember LeBron got lit up because he's like, oh, man, Evans is like their second most important forward.
5.
He has 5 career goals.
63 career NHL games.
Okay.
I don't think they're a trade candidate. Like, I don't think they go out and seek goal scoring because I think Bergevin looks at this year and it's not a go for a year. The fan base probably accepts that you take a step back after going to the Stanley Cup Finals on your defensive abilities, and you were the team of Magic Beans throughout 4 rounds. So I don't know if they're like, oh, we need to make a huge splash to get some goal scoring and make a trade here.
I agree with your logic. I disagree with the outcome because that's not what Marc Bergevin does.
Do you think Bergevin's like, I need to fix this team now?
I think Jeff Molson is like, Mark, you need to, and Mark cuts him off in the middle of the sentence and goes, I know. I don't. If this keeps up, we'll see a different team shortly after Halloween.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me...
Marc Bergevin, baby. Oh yeah. The Habs and Marc Bergevin, known for being super boring. No, never.
I don't know. I think maybe they take a step back this year and they accept that.
That might be the smart thing to do, honestly.
Yeah,
but I agree with that logic.
It's smart.
But I don't think they're going to do it.
No. Well, okay, so a couple things, and this is a Leafs thing, but it's an NHL thing. So, as far as we know, the Arizona Coyotes, who literally start a player that they created the day of, are the only team in the NHL that we know of that has relaxed their dress code. Now, it came out today that the Leafs... I don't think the Coyotes really have necessarily like a dress code. I think they have some guidelines. The Leafs have now relaxed theirs after Austin Matthews talked about it in the offseason. Like, hey, it'd be kind of nice to be able to just, deviate from a suit once in a while. So the new big switch. Are you guys ready?
What is happening?
You ready for the new guidelines? So before, they had to wear a suit, right? Mm-hmm. What would you refer to that as? Would you say...
I would refer
How would you qualify that?
Business,
I
guess.
Well, now they've upgraded that to business casual. So now you can wear a t-shirt or a turtleneck under your suit, but you're still wearing a suit.
This is the Leafs.
This is just the Leafs. And the NHLPA, by the way, the NHLPA has nothing to do. There are not huge issues facing the game. See, the NHLPA is, of course, using this issue to be all over teams about this. They are all over teams about dress code. Other things, not so much.
The NHLPA is really good when it comes to issues that are related to, like, if you were running for student council.
Yeah, that's a good...
But anything serious? No, the NHLPA is... No, we're going to...
let's not take a stand on
No,
that.
we're going to decrease the price of, like, the pop in the vending machine. We're going to get a relaxed dress code. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, do you need health care? Okay, well, tell you what. Here's a Dr. Pepper for 50 cents. Pizza wraps on Monday and Friday.
Yeah. And
So
One for Martin, 2 for Martin.
I know we're joking about this, but with like something like the Jimmy Hayes news that came out over the weekend, you look at the NHLPA and you say there's huge gaps in what you should be doing for players and ex-players.
Yes. And a lot of people are saying you're picking the dress code. That's going to be your thing. Now, I feel like they could walk and chew gum because I do think it's time for the NHL to drop the dress code altogether. Like, they're adults. They can show up however they want. Their uniform is the uniform they put over their head when they go out and risk their body. That's the uniform. It isn't the suit they wear to the arena. The uniform is the equipment and the crest on their... And as long as they're wearing that, I think there's no problem. I feel like the NHLPA can do both. And maybe we ought to kind of get in that direction.
First of all, walk and chew gum. You are amazing at collecting old man sayings.
Well, becoming one.
Whenever I talk about the NHLPA, what usually gets their attention is money-making ventures. If anyone's wondering why players would want this, like, because Austin Matthews, like, he's not a guy I think of as someone who wants to dress like a bum. Like, he
likes to dress up.
High fashion, loves to dress up, but I bet the first game we're going to see him in like a Drew t-shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because
he's going to get paid for that.
Yes, branded t-shirts. Players are going to start walking in with like Nike, with Reebok, with X, with Y, with Z.
Maybe not Reebok.
Maybe not. Oh yeah, sorry. I went back to 2007 for a second. They're going to walk in with different brands, right? I want to know who the first player who's going to be who doesn't have like actual clothes like as a sponsor. They're going to have like a Muscle Milk shirt or something like that. Like,
they walk in like a ex-UFC fighter, like back when they could wear their own sponsorships.
Yeah, like all of it. Yeah, Venom.
Yeah,
on their shorts.
Monster Energy.
Yeah, stuff like that. But no, that's a money-making venture for these players, and especially a guy who, you know, I'm only going to be in the league for, who knows, 6-7 years. It's not like I've made a shitload of money.
Your earning window is like 7, 11, 14 years.
Let him make some damn money on the side.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're selling helmet sponsorships and jersey patches, which is what they're doing, let the players make a little money on their body too. Right? Why not? I don't understand this whole like, what sanctity? Sanctity of what? Just go out and make some money. It's all for entertainment. Are they going to lower the ticket prices? No, they're not. This is what it is, man. This is how you're a walking billboard now. You're all influencers. Congratulations. I like it. And I wondered, I bet the Leafs probably have something in place for like, yeah, you can't do that. No Beats headphones, none of that stuff.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, there's always going to be, you know, if the Leafs have X brand for, I don't know, pizza, let's say, you can't walk in with a Y brand shirt for pizza.
Yeah.
They're going to have things like that. But otherwise, listen, my friend is Justin Bieber, and I'm going to wear a Drew shirt. Remember that time I got the Leafs a deal with Drew? Yeah, okay, so I'm going to wear a Drew shirt, and you're going to leave me alone about it.
Did we ever go through that on this show?
I don't know. We maybe talked about how the jersey is
$328 or something like that?
Yeah.
We talked about it.
It was more expensive than a jersey with a patch on it.
Yeah, but this is a jersey. A Drew jersey.
Did you see the quotes from Austin about Justin Bieber and GQ?
Well, he's talking about them. He's like, the Leafs need a defenseman. Let's get McCabe.
Yeah,
you don't remember what McCabe played like then. Yeah, drive you bananas.
I love that Justin Bieber is a 46-year-old sports radio listener.
I loved it.
Yeah, but also, did you see Tyson Berry's comment?
No.
So it was posted on Instagram, and Tyson Berry went, man, that guy saw me play defense once, and he was like, we need some help.
Oh, gosh.
I thought it was very self-aware. I like
Brian McCabe, for anybody that doesn't remember, was unbelievable on offense, but we used to call Jake Gardner the new Brian McCabe when we started this show. When it was fine until it wasn't fine. And then it was very not fine.
So... You know how we always give Shea Weber, in particular, shit for the new cross-check rule?
Yeah.
Like, as if that's going to ruin his play style? Well, no, we've seen that happen because Brian McCabe had a thing, and in one fell swoop, they're like, you can no longer do that thing.
Called the corkscrew.
No, can opener.
Oh, can opener. That's right.
He had the can opener.
And what would you do, Steve? I'm attacking you, and you're Brian McCabe. What would you do?
Shit. Basically, he would shove his stick between your legs and be like, oh, it's just there. It's fine. And players would like trip over it or they would basically stop. And you can't do that anymore.
Right.
Like that. You're going to get called for it. So after a brief parade to the penalty box, he's like, no, I should maybe adjust. But he was never the same defensively after that.
Right. But
what do you do when the thing you've been doing your whole career doesn't work anymore?
He did score like 25 goals or a defense one year. Like he was unreal that one year.
Him and Thomas Caberlet, back when they still had 2 defensemen on the power play, but those are 2 pretty good defensemen to have, just bam, 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 bam. And I remember there was a small section of the fan base that was like, you should trade this guy. He's never going to be worth more. And that would have changed the fortunes of the franchise.
Right.
For the next decade.
Anyway, I'm kidding. No.
Own rentals for a team who missed the playoffs.
I think I also think we were robbed in that 04-05 season of a full season of Brian Leetch and Brian McCabe. Because Brian Leetch and Brian McCabe together were absolutely outstanding. And Brian Leetch said at the time Brian McCabe was the best defense partner he ever had.
They would have been contenders.
Oh, yeah. And Ron Francis is your third line center. Get out of here.
Yeah, I can't remember if he would have been there. But
yeah, he would have been.
They would have been old. They would have been old,
Sure.
but they would have been pretty good.
I want to also break some news here.
Oh.
I did want to get to John Klingberg's extension, but basically
Was he extended?
No, he wants $80 million though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just thought I should let you guys know that. So yeah, they're apparently he wants big money. I feel like he's worth it. If I'm Dallas, that's.
Are we doing that or the breaking news?
Well, the breaking news is actually quite a lot bigger because I'm wondering how this plays into the NHL. This is huge news.
Okay.
According to sources, FIFA is ending its long-standing partnership with EA Sports.
Wow.
The statement reads, FIFA is bullish and excited about the future in gaming and esports for football, and it is clear that this needs to be a space that is occupied by more than one party controlling all the rights. So they're going to give out multiple licenses again. And I think, interestingly,
Wow.
I think that that's a great idea. And I'll tell you why. Especially with a sport like football, which is ubiquitous around the world. Everybody plays it.
It's huge.
The idea, if you own a monopoly on that, a lot of people will be like, well, they got all the resources. They got all the money. They're going to push it forward. When in actuality, the thing that makes companies and products great is competition. And we know that. That's why we have anti-monopoly laws. And so with with EA Sports owning that for such a long time, there have been a lot of complaints. And there have been, I'm sure EA offered a fortune for those rights.
Oh my God.
And FIFA would have still turned them down. And so I'm curious about what this means. Does EA still get FIFA, but as a part of, but then another, like maybe Activision gets it. Maybe, who knows? But it'll be very interesting because remember back in the day, there'd be like 2 or 3 NHL games you could pick from every Christmas.
It was NHL hits.
Yeah.
As well as just NHL.
And then there was
2K.
2K, yeah.
2K had an NHL game.
Baseball had a couple games. I remember in like 2011 or 2010 or something like that. I was looking. I only had an Xbox and I was looking for a baseball game and they didn't have one.
Yeah.
So like
because the show had the MLB rights and it's made by Sony,
right?
So it only came out on PlayStation consoles. But yeah, for baseball, it used to be MVP Baseball,
right?
And
I had MVP Baseball.
2K also made a baseball game, and then the show they bought the rights, and then 2K didn't make an Xbox game for the longest while, so there was no Xbox option for baseball games.
And you know that there's going to be copycat leagues all over the place. Like this isn't great for EA because other leagues might say, yeah, you know what? Maybe I hadn't thought about it, but maybe we should do that too.
Someone think of EA.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, man, I know there have been people for a long, long time have been like, there needs to be competition in this space.
Wow.
And I think it'll be fascinating to see because that is by far the most popular sports video game in the world.
What it seems like the problem here is that EA wasn't willing to pay enough money that FIFA was asking for.
Is that right?
So this is the report from the New York Times. EA's current licensing deal expires after the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Source claims talks have stalled between the two sides. FIFA reportedly wants more than double its current cut from EA, more than $1 billion over 4 years, while also limiting EA's rights to keep it to video games. EA, meanwhile, is considering new names for its soccer games while supposedly exploring new concepts like arena-based tournaments, NFTs, and even highlights for real-world games.
So I wonder if they'll be like the NHL just sold an A package and a B package, right? For TNT and ESPN.
Oh, maybe.
Well, but I don't know if you'd sell an A package or a B package game because you're basically dooming the B package game to failure. But, I wonder if EA wasn't willing to spend that much, are they just going to let everybody else into that space and never do another FIFA? So are they going to support the FIFA that they currently have?
They've registered the trademark EA Sports FC. So it seems like they're preparing to go in a different direction with their football games.
So what would that be?
I guess a football game without with the way
without FIFA
when you don't have the licensing rights, where you do just kind of generic Toronto team. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe like you said, they signed the deal with FIFA where they get the rights, and then FIFA also sends it to whatever other company, 2K or whatever, Activision, whoever wants to make a soccer game.
So 2K should rebrand. 2K was like 22 years ago. We need to stop with the 2K. But wow, that is crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy, and that could be. Think about what that could mean for something like the NBA, right? Which already has two, right? Don't they?
No, EA stopped their NBA Live games.
Did they?
Now it's one game, yeah. Because they tried to come out with NBA. I forget the last one, but it's fairly recently. I think it was like 2019, and it just flopped.
Okay.
2K just surpassed it in every single way. So it's become a monopoly by default because EA wasn't able to produce a competent NBA game.
I wonder if FIFA's looking at that too. Like you had everything, and in the NBA space, you couldn't compete. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if they're thinking there could be a better game out there. I know gamers will complain about everything, and I know that because I am one. I'll complain about every little thing. Like I just played Far Cry 6. By the way, no complaints. Holy smokes, what a game. So much fun. But, you'll complain about something inevitably. That's always how it goes.
Sure.
I wonder if the complaints were enough where they felt like they could live without EA Sports, right? Yeah, EA Sports may have wanted more money, but they clearly thought that they were in a great bargaining position. And I guess FIFA was probably like, you're not going to out-bargain us. Maybe.
This is a sports story where I'm going to have to turn to my brother-in-law.
This is fascinating.
He played semi-pro soccer in Scotland,
mm-hmm.
and he should have not done that and just committed to FIFA because he was that good.
Really?
Oh man, he should have just played FIFA the whole time, and he'd be a millionaire right now. Dude, FIFA's a big deal in gaming. Huge deal. This is going to have ripple effects for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm very excited I love being a passenger in sports stories. When you work in sports. No, I like being a student in this case. I can't wait to read all about it.
I wonder, because do you guys remember the franchise Pro Evolution Soccer?
Yes.
Like they're still going. Yeah. They rebranded to eFootball now, but they're a competing video game. And I don't play soccer video games, so I don't know if they own all the rights to all the teams and everything mm-hmm. as well. I know that I was looking at the cover there. They had like Messi on the cover or something like that. So I assume they have some rights, but probably not all of the rights as EA.
EA was nuts. Like I bought a couple of them in a row, like the FIFA games, before I just ran out of time. You have a kid, and all of a sudden it's like you got to pare down on which video games you're going to buy.
2.
Yeah, I buy like 2 a year.
Yeah.
But what was amazing is you could literally start anywhere in the world in any league. So I tried EPL to start, right? And they're like, no, you're going to go down to Division 2 and you're going to work your way up. And I think I played like it sent my player to Blackpool, and then you could go to Division 2 Russia, Division 2 Mexico. Like you can go the level below the MLS. I'm pretty sure. I think CPL's on there. Like it's everything.
How many players are in the FIFA games?
It's got to be thousands.
Thousands.
Got to be. Yeah, and it's surprising with soccer fans how many of them know basically all of them. Like I don't know how you keep control, but I guess you got a bunch of Steves in the soccer space, right? That just know everything.
It's how you learn.
Oh, video games.
If I didn't get NHL 99 for Christmas when I was 10 years old, I literally would not have my career. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I was always a hockey fan, but that was when I learned.
And if it wasn't for NHL 2004, I wouldn't have known about how fast Merck Svato was.
Mm-hmm. That
was 06.
Oh, and Pascal Dupuis.
Speed Demon.
Pascal Dupuis
and Kyle Wellwood.
Kyle Elwood was a maniac.
My love of the Rams is twofold, because when they won the Super Bowls when I first started watching football, and then Marshall Faulk was on Madden 2000, and that was the first football game I owned, and that's the dude on the cover, and he was unbelievable in the game. Like, video games, they have such a power over kids. It's awesome.
Some of the most fun I've ever had playing NHL was in the lockout year when I played as Mudu in the Swedish league with the Sedin twins and Wenberg, and who else was on that friggin' team? It was absolutely ridiculous. And then we'd like play against this team with, oh man, they have a really good goalie. What's his name? Henrik Lundqvist?
Never heard of him.
I have Tommy Salo in net, so good luck there, Henrik. Oh, weird. They won again. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Interesting.
When will Leo beat you in NHL?
Never.
How many years away are we from Steve getting his butt whooped by Leo?
He's going to beat him within the decade.
Oh, yeah?
Within the decade? You think 10-year-old Leo's going to beat me? Or you think 11-year-old Leo's going to beat me at Chell? Okay.
Well, I'm keeping this take.
I'm not kidding. Ask anybody who listens to this show whose kids are even slightly older than our kids. Are you out of your...
I'll let him beat me in wrestling before I let him beat me in Chell. Are you joking? I'm going to kick that kid's ass in Chell.
Steve.
No way.
Oh, yeah, it's going to happen.
Kids are so good at video games, Steve.
He's going to have so much more time to practice than you two.
Oh,
you got like 5 jobs, man.
No, I'm going to tell that kid shut up and study.
You're sticking... Yeah, you can't play that game. Come on now.
Daddy said you can't play Chell.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
You play Far Cry.
Mark me. He's gonna whoop Steve. For sure. Sorry, pal.
Hey, kid who can't even talk yet. Bring it.
All right. Let's get to the press conference.
That was huge news.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
I would like to highlight something. You're probably going to be like, oh, you didn't talk about this or you didn't talk about that. Well, don't worry about it because we're back up to 3 episodes a week. Did we mention that off the top? I don't think we did.
Oh, I guess we should, eh?
Yeah. 3 episodes a week. Are you like, hey, there's a show Monday. That's strange. Well, guess what? You're going to get another one Wednesday and Friday because the season started Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all season long until like July
15th? Well, it's probably because July 15th is free agency, is it not?
Something like that.
So we'll probably be 3 episodes a week until July 21st.
Something like that.
Holy moly, it's a long time from now.
Yep. I try not to think about it. It's like looking at the night sky. It's very pretty, and then you get scared.
In a couple of years, or like not this year, but next year, so summer of 2023, we will actually have a full summer off.
Oh yeah. I definitely try not to think about that. Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
This
I have to tell you, as much as you guys are like, yeah, you guys are really lucky to do what you do. You're absolutely right. We're exhausted by the end of the season, though. And when you look at things, I remember I've been talking because we're obviously developing podcasts on the side. And I had somebody say to me, you want me to do that many episodes? You want me to do like 40, 50 episodes a year? Like, what am I going to talk about? I'm like, you'd be surprised.
What?
And this person was like, I don't know. That just sounds like a lot. I'm like, you have to take it 1 week at a time. Don't think about don't think long ahead because it's great. And I'm like, listen, we do over 100. I think we do over 100 now in a season. Don't we? 120, something like that?
That's something I've gotten much better at. The farther I look into the future, the worse I behave.
Oh yeah. What do they say? There's like an old Stoic saying. It's like you look too far in the future. Look too far in the past, you'll be depressed. Look too far in the future, you'll be anxious. So just be in the present.
Oh, what if you just did both? Thanks, Catholic school. Thanks for that.
Go ahead, Jesse.
That's good. I wanted to get your thoughts on this bit of news that came down this morning. Ilya Kovalchuk is the general manager of the Russian Olympic team.
Does he not still play?
So he doesn't have a contract right now, but he was looking to get on a roster.
In the K?
Somewhere.
Interesting.
So, thoughts?
The Russian program politically is always fascinating. It is always fascinating. What's his acumen?
So what we have...
Zero.
We have Igor Aranko, who works for the KHL, right? Slava Malamud, who is anti-KHL but reports on them. No. But like, you've got 2 extremes there. Slava Malamud hates the Russian government, the KHL, all of it. Igor Aranko is working for the KHL, so he's obviously, there's that little bit, he can't be like, fuck the KHL, right? I want to know like who's reporting on this that's going to give me like the most accurate look at why things are happening, because I would love to know the story behind how this happened. You know what I mean?
Isabel Kashidian, maybe Jillian Kemmerer.
Yeah. Like tell us, because I think that Russian hockey is so flippin' fascinating.
It is. This sort of reminds me of like, wasn't Alexei Yashin in charge for a little bit, or maybe that was the women's team.
And I know Slava Fetisov is either the head of Russian sport or the head of Russian hockey.
It's interesting that Kovalchuk is in charge, because usually most managerial positions are sort of from my cold dead hands in Russian hockey. So I'm fascinated to see what he does with it. It's maybe good to see at least a somewhat active player, or at least recent player, be involved, because I know at times Russian players have felt like the Russian hockey programs were not player first enough. Like they, like coaches have rolled their power play in the penalty kill as if it was 5-on-5. Like, all right, it's the third line shift now. So the third line is on the power play. The fourth line is on the power play. So maybe this will give them a more modern approach to the game. I
want to quickly say, I have a question for both of you, if I could, with the press conference. According to Rob Pizzola, NHL power play opportunities this year. Sorry. In 17-18, we're 6.08 per game. Then you've got 18-19, 5.84. 19-20, 5.94. Last season, aka earlier this year, 5.78. This year, 6.82.
Yep.
So that's so far. We're 3-4 games in. Some teams are one game. How long does that last? And does it?
Christmas.
Jesse.
Yeah, you see a balance every year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. Just wanted to ask the question.
Wait, I did that wrong.
There it is. All right.
So this question comes from our press conference questions channel on our Discord. If you're not a member of our Discord, what are you doing? There's over 7,000 people there already having great conversations about everything in life. So Matthew Brower asked, is Sam Bennett the real deal? What did Calgary do that suppressed him so much? So for context, Sam Bennett started the year with a hat trick. He has 3 goals in 2 games.
That's unbelievable. That's so funny.
Do you think he's the real deal? And what the hell happened to Calgary? Why didn't that work out?
Well, it's funny that you ask if he's the real deal, because the last player they did this to was James Neal. The real deal, James Neal. They acquired him, decided they immediately hate his guts, and ended up trading him to the Oilers in a trade that made them look pretty stupid.
I mean, what do you have? 17 goals in the first 3 months, and then didn't score again. But
it would bite them long term. But no, he led the NHL in goals for like a solid month. Like it was absolutely crazy. And now we got it happening with Sam Bennett. I don't know. Sometimes with certain teams, it just does not click with a certain player, and it should. Holy cow, did things sour between Sam Bennett and Calgary. And, you know, sometimes when you get your heart broken, it's hard to unbreak it. Like, I've been looking at Vitaly Kravtsov recently, and I'm like, really? It's irreparable between him and the Rangers? That doesn't make any sense. He could be in the lineup right now, because there's injuries.
He requested a trade and didn't want to go down to the AHL as well.
Yeah,
right?
but like he would be in the National Hockey League right now if he just went to the AHL for like a game. But
you know, him and Elias Anderson now with the Rangers, right?
You know, yeah. This is more high profile than Elias Anderson.
Oh, certainly. And I think with the Rangers, they had a whole management switch over. So this is interesting because Elias Anderson was the last group, right? But I would say with Calgary, it's been the same group as every other Canadian team, more than a decade or whatever it is. And there does seem to be something funny happening with that organization. That is a good, skilled team. Markstrom didn't play great last year when he came over. I think Tanev was fine. Like pretty good, right? He's Chris Tanev. But there seems to, and you know, remember Adam Fox refused to play there. Outright refused. And now he's gone and won a Norris Trophy.
Yeah. They don't do a great job evaluating their own guys by the looks of it.
But even if that's the case, like, I mean, it's not like they didn't know Adam Fox was good. Right? Dougie Hamilton, they were like, well, something about Dougie Hamilton. I'm just
it's a museum.
Yeah, well, it's a museum, not a part of the team. Like, I don't know, man. It just, there's certain teams where I'm like, what's the common denominator here? Because that label sure has stuck to Dougie Hamilton. Why isn't it stuck to Calgary? Why couldn't you make Museum Boy a part of the team? Why couldn't you bring him into the fold?
Devil's advocate.
Stop advocating for the devil.
No, I agree. But you're the Flames, and you're like, this guy can be good, and he just simply isn't being that for us.
You got to move him.
He just doesn't want to be here. And then he goes to Florida, and he's playing well. But Calgary's the one who looks stupid.
But examine why he doesn't want. Why does he not want to be there?
Yeah, they have a bigger problem that is not Sam Bennett specific.
Bingo.
Yeah, why don't we get the most out of guys here?
And I wonder if that's why Sutter's back. Because obviously, here's the thing: when Sutter came back, they were like, "Well, it's an attitude change in Calgary." Okay, so you've gone through Gulutzin. Then you had the Gulutzin who threw his stick into the stands because he was so frustrated, and then you had the coach who
Bill Peters,
who was never a great coach, who they walked through fire to get. And wow, gigantic asshole too.
Mike Babcock's friend was the second best reputation he had.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
that was literally his thing. He's Mike Babcock's friend.
What's the thing there? What's the thing? And the dressing room's divided from what we've heard from time to time. The players don't like each other, and that's normal. People don't always have to like each other, but divided is a whole different story. And
things are grumpy there.
They are grumpy
because
I think they all know that it's a really good team. That's a skilled, really good hockey team.
Yeah, things are negative there, and that can change. Winning definitely fixes a lot of it.
Sure,
like
winning fixes everything.
Yeah, I got to imagine the Buffalo Sabres are having a fun time right now. You know, right at this very moment. Hey, everyone thinks we suck and we're 2-0. Isn't that funny? That's hilarious. But when bad habits start to sink in again. And this is later, this is misspelled, and this is, we're losing again, and this, and, we have a 40-year-old in net, and all this shit. The Buffalo is really obvious that something's been wrong there for a long time. Sometimes it's not always as obvious because they're kind of middling and make the playoffs sometimes. But with Calgary, there's a lot of red flags.
Final question. Do you want to talk about the Sportsnet's new studios now or on the next show?
I don't know. The problem is I haven't really gotten a chance to look at it a ton because I've been working. I mean, it seems cool. I know that space. It's tinier than it looks on television.
That's how TV works. The magic of TV.
It always makes things look bigger than it is.
Yeah. I like that the panel seems closer together. You're not having to do a friggin' Zoom call all the time. That's just going to make the content better in general. I do like that. Yeah. Well, I don't know. You guys have watched it more.
Adam, do you have thoughts on Sportsnet?
I think it's fine. I think I don't really have thoughts on it. I think it's less dynamic than the previous studio. But then I was there when they unveiled the first studio, like the big one and I thought it seems like 5,000 square feet. That's how big the last studio was.
It's too big.
And I thought at the time, I'm like, listen, and I hadn't even been on breakfast television yet. I'm like, that seems a little big for me. Like, my apartment at the time was 800 square feet. I'm like, so this is 6 times my apartment. That seems a lot.
I understand the criticism of some of the things Sportsnet tried, especially early on in the NHL agreement, but they were at least trying.
They were trying.
Part of the reason it started to seem like this big empty space is everything they tried that was new, everyone said no to. And then it was just this enormous friggin'
Remember,
studio.
and then we're going to go upstairs on the other side of the studio to Damian Cox and Elliot Friedman, who used to do the second period intermission on Hockey Night in Canada. Can you believe that?
We don't like that. We don't like that. We don't like that. We don't like that. And then it finally got down to they could do Hockey Night in this room.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, what do you need that's much more than this? Like, it's fun to have a little spot for Wayne Gretzky and Charles Barkley to shoot pucks at each other. Yeah, well, yeah. But you're not going to use that all the time.
But like Kiprios did that. John Shannon with the panoptic angle or whatever. Whenever he was talking about the not the Kiprios goal. I was thinking Kiprasov, but Kiprasov wasn't in net. Habby Bullen was in net. It was the Martin Jelena goal. The puck wall. Remember the puck wall?
Yep.
There's an entire radio studio in there, and they would. What they ended up doing was they had the high up studio where you can see the downstairs studio from it. I don't know. I think it was time to move, and I can say as an employee, it's just easier having everyone under the same roof.
Yeah, it was because it was. If you don't know the geography of it, Rogers is at Bloor and Jarvis,
and it's very difficult to get from one to the other.
Yeah, and the CBC is down on Front Street on the other side of Yonge, right? So it's tough to cross Yonge Street in Toronto. It's hard to explain. East and West in Toronto, very divided.
If you're talent and you take the subway, that's fine. But what if you got a truck full of shit? And you're looking at an hour-long car ride to
Yeah, it's 2 kilometers away. And it's an hour car drive.
Yeah,
construction and traffic.
Sometimes
I don't know. I mean, I think it makes sense. I think the bummer thing for me was I think that the opportunity was missed in the first year when they could have gone street level. They had the space at Yonge and Dundas, which is where Breakfast Television is.
Oh, on the main floor.
And they could have co-opted that, moved BT upstairs, which BT ultimately was moved upstairs. So BT and Cityline were on the downstairs level. You move on the upstairs. They're on Breakfast Television is now on the 3rd floor. I was there for the studio rental.
You can't see it from Yonge and Dundas anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about the CBC building, and I was picturing the main floor.
No, I'm talking about Yonge Dundas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So if there's a Stanley Cup in Toronto, that's where the party's going to be. You want your studio there, right? And I think, to me, there was something, whenever I walked in that Breakfast Television studio, there's something very downtown about that feeling. And I think as broadcasters in this country, we have really missed the boat on people crowding around the studio, as you see on like Good Morning America. And you know, I understand when it's minus 20, nobody's doing that in the morning. Like in New York, you can do that because it's New York.
And
Toronto,
if they are, that's the attraction, because you're like, what is that guy doing?
Yeah, and why are they there? But in Toronto, what you get in the early morning with a street side studio is 3 or 4 people mooning. And that's what they used to do. Like there'd be people like literally out there flashing their wieners at us, and so you kind of think, well, okay, that doesn't work. But at night, it's definitely different. And I remember when there were political rallies and stuff in that area, when City used to do the debates and that sort of thing, people would come in, and it was a real feeling of energy. And I thought, if you could just do hockey like this, almost like what they do with Ron and Tara coming back tonight for hometown hockey. There's always people milling around in the back. The broadcast should feel big. And I always felt like the reason that ESPN does such a great job with this stuff is you watch college football, people are putting up the funniest signs they possibly can to get on TV so that somebody will screen grab it, and then one of the, Bleacher Report or Barstool or somebody will retweet that photo and it'll go viral. Like it's one of those things where we love to have our self-contained little bubbles here in Canada, and we need to do a better job of reaching out to the people and making ourselves more accessible to the people that are consuming our products. And I say that from the basement of my house. But,
open your window.
And COVID, you couldn't do it. But I felt like the time to do a street side studio for Rogers anyway, when they bought the rights, when it was a 12-year deal, it's now 7 years into it, I think they have 5 years left. That was the time to do it. I think that's where they should have done it. And they would have had the space to do it. But, I think the new studio looks nice. I just wish we, I always say this. Whenever there's a sport on ESPN, and it's usually football that I watch, or, you watch basketball, it's like they fired the broadcast out of a cannon. It's so exciting. It's like, yes, your workday is over. Now we're going to fucking party. And in Canada, it's like we sort of meander our way into every broadcast. We don't.
Nah, the Arkells are there to get you.
No, it's not. Death taxes in the Arkells,
Jesse,
man. Holy moly.
Leave the Arkells alone.
We love the Arkells.
We love the Arkells because they've taken over from Headley as the band that's inoffensive that we can put in everything.
Who took over from the Trues?
Who took over from Nickelback. Nickelback got too big. So it's and no offense to the Arkells, they've done extremely well, but like,
hey, you know what's all right for fighting? Saturday night.
I've heard that. Anyway, my thing is, I would love to see something like that. Where's the go-to spot for Canadian hockey fans to be a part of the broadcast? That's what I want to see. And that's just my personal. If you're asking my personal,
hometown hockey comes in, or do you want to see that on Saturday night?
I think you need to see hometown hockey for different reasons. Hometown hockey is to go to the markets that are underserved. Mm-hmm. Why would a hockey broadcast go to a town of 5,000 people? Well, we'll tell you why, and we'll do stories, and it'll be great. And Ron McLean, when he was on the show, said it would be.
They're fun.
Oh, I'm sure they are. They're amazing. Why don't we have the pomp and circumstance? And it's the big night in hockey. It's Saturday night. It's the biggest city in Canada. There's always a Leaf game on Saturday night. And listen, it's not like I'm expecting a Calgary Flames fan to be super jacked about there being a crowd in Calgary. Or, sorry, a crowd in Toronto. But if I'm a Calgarian and I'm coming to Toronto for whatever reason, it might be cool to kind of, check that out. You know, like...
So you want Maple Leaf Square stuff?
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Build a community. That's the whole thing. That's what broadcasting is.
That was what TNT did when the Raps were in the finals.
Yes.
And in the conference finals. The Charles Barkley, the buck stops here.
Yes.
For game 3. That was awesome.
And they brought Stephen A. Smith up, and he had a crowd of people around him, and he walked out, and it's just like he's like a fucking rock star. And it's that... To me, it's not about... I don't remember anything that he said on that show, but I remember that moment in Toronto where he walked through the crowd and looked like a rock star, and it's because it's theater, and that's the point.
Man.
It's supposed to be entertaining.
Toronto, we're always like, hey, we're big. And then we immediately turn into South Park trying to get a Whole Foods.
Yes.
Whenever the Americans come, we're like, no.
Sorry, Jesse, you look like you were going to say something there.
No. Go ahead.
Anyway, that's
No.
That's my opinion. You ask my opinion. That's what I want to see. I want to see broadcaster do that.
Well, I like
a rights holder.
I like Elliot's shirts.
Elliot's, yeah, I like that.
I do.
They need to get rid of the circle table where they have the cameraman's bouncing around. You probably didn't see the broadcast, but they have a new round table desk.
This is for hockey night.
On hockey night on Saturdays.
I didn't see this.
And Jennifer Barrill and Kelly Rudy are facing sideways because it's a round table, so you can only shoot it straight down.
So are they shooting it like first take?
So they have 2 cameramen, and they bounce around to front-facing views. So the camera guy will walk to one side of the table and shoot it straight on Kelly. Or
so is it shoulder cam, or are they?
He's got like a rig on him, so he's
does.
bouncing around. You're not really supposed to see him, but like I caught him in the corner because I'm looking for this stuff. And they need, because you shouldn't have a talent sitting side. It's unfair to Rudy and Jennifer. They're sitting sideways on the broadcast.
You should never have a talent sitting sideways on a broadcast.
So
or at least where you're shooting them.
If like anybody out there is listening, please don't have your talent sitting sideways like that. Makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
no, what you I like both of them.
Just put a panel flat. Like there's a reason they've been doing it for 80 years on news television, that your panel sits towards the camera instead of having a cameraman walk around a round table to shoot everybody head on.
So what you do is you can have them sitting that way, but just make sure they don't go on camera that way. So have them shot, like first take is around a circle.
Oh, yeah.
But they shoot Stephen A. Smith like this. The person sitting across from him is shot the other way, directly opposite. So it looks like it's straight on.
Maybe that's what they'll change to.
Hopefully they will.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're camera nerds. That's what it is.
The only thing I wasn't
We're shooting nerds.
It's also a little bit of context. You got to get a rapid test every time you enter that building.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Well,
that's why I've only been like 3 times.
So you have to get a rapid test. What if you're vaccinated?
Yeah.
Still got to get it. Okay. Yep. All right. Well, we have to fill out at Bell. We have to fill out a survey, and if you fill out the survey wrong, there's no taking back the survey, and you got to go through. So you got to make sure you get it right, and make sure you remember to do it, because I have been in trouble for that, and rightfully so.
A lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, hopefully,
super glad this is still going.
Hopefully, it won't be for much longer. So we will be back Wednesday and Friday this week, where I believe we will have another announcement or 2.
Oh, 2.
Well, I definitely know that there is going to be a special guest in the next couple of weeks coming in that is going to hang out for a show. So that's going to be fun. So we'll make that announcement probably later this week. And what if the SDPN were to get bigger?
Oh, it's good because it's really small.
Yeah.
Just question.
It's really small and also growing slowly.
What kind of show would you want?
Nothing, and nothing's happened in the last month.
That's right. Nothing.
Oh, every time I see what we're doing, I'm like, gosh, this could go a little quicker, couldn't it?
So if you were thinking maybe there might not be any more announcements, there are. We're very excited about what's to come. We're excited for you because we think it's going to be cool. And hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have an announcement for you ready to go on that. But it is time to start talking about it. So that's pretty neat, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up there. Jesse, you can fire the thing.
I'll put it in post.
Oh, you're going to put it in post?
I'll press it.
What?
I'll press it.
Why were you going to put it in post?
I don't know.
Oh,
that's lazy.
Is it?
You got to dance. You got to know where it all is, where it happens.
Show me where it all is. Where does it happen, Jesse?
Here, I'm going to dance like Leo.
Is that how he dances, with his arms flapping in the air like he's banging bongo drums?
Yeah, I don't know which kid at his daycare he learned it from.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.